Hello, 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 and welcome to today's episode of Her Version. This podcast is dedicated to sharing stories of struggle to triumph, a platform that allows individuals to tell their truth in order to inspire and uplift others. For those of you that are new to this podcast and like content like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you like and share. I am your host. Let's jump right in. Hello, hello, hello. My name is Sabrina. Thank you for joining us at the Her Version podcast. This platform is built on storytelling and the understanding that many times our greatest learning experiences come from learning from other people's stories. Today, I am speaking with an amazing woman named Niki. Niki is a happily married mother of 2 children living in South Florida. Yay, Florida. But it was not always that way. Niki, once a high school cheerleading captain and aspiring mathematician, took a sharp turn in her early years to being a college dropout and a homeless prostitute. Her time in the street, both in Lake Worth Beach, where she once unsuccessfully rehabbed, and in New Jersey, where her family lived, was filled mostly by short stints in jail for possession, DUI, and theft. She is not the only one, and that is why she is here speaking today. The nation's health experts report that nearly 21 million Americans, or about 1 in every 7, struggle with addiction. Only a fraction, 1 in 10, will get treatment. As a last resort, Niki's family, back in 2016, reached out to the Dr. Phil show to try and save Niki from herself. Now, looking back, Niki credits Dr. Phil's staff for putting her on the road to recovery. Her sober start was Christmas Day 2016. I'm so happy to have you here. Welcome, Niki. Sorry about that.
That's all right.
My eyes started going a little cross there for a second. How are you today?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I am so good. I'm so happy to have you here. I want to ask last question. I always like to leave the audience with a little bit of advice from our guests, but obviously those that are still hanging out with us almost an hour in are resonating with your story. They're pulling information for either themselves or somebody that they know. So I want to ask you, in using your story as a reference, what advice would you give to females who are possibly struggling with being their authentic selves?
Oh my gosh, that's the hardest part, you know?
Yeah.
Gosh. Um, you know, being honest and like understanding that, having a relationship with myself, like it's something I struggle with every day, Like there's days when I say things and I'm like, "Oh, like I could have said that better." Like it's hard and it took years, like my first year in sobriety, for sure, I was very much concerned with what other people thought of me. And like this has been my go-to piece of advice I give myself when I say something and bite my tongue, or if like I get out of the house and I'm like, oh, this outfit doesn't look great. Like this is not the Niki I want to portray to the world. I ask myself, like, is it Niki who cares, or like, what is, God, the universe, like create whatever you call it, does he care? Because like I know that my God, my higher power doesn't care about like a lot of the little Niki things. Like I can be useful, and like people don't care about a lot of the things I do. I had like massive nasal and like dental surgery on my sinuses, and my face was like super swollen. I had a ton of teeth pulled in the back. Niki was very self-conscious about the fact that I had a bunch of teeth missing. And like I forget the fact that like I came in here, with like no medical care, no dental care, like dying, and like I have the capability to like get healthcare today, and like nobody cares, right? If I had a couple teeth missing, like I can still carry a message of hope. Like that's the thing. Like, is it Niki who cares, or like
I
is it
love
the
that.
universe who cares? That's like my gauge when I see myself like slipping back into this like uncomfortability. Like who cares? The people I'm helping don't care.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I agree. And I think that when we are trying to be our authentic selves, a lot of times we're using the excuse of other people judging us when a lot of times they're not judging us. We're
Yeah.
judging what we think they're judging us on.
Oh, yeah, that's
So
my
yeah.
MO, 100%. This is what I think you're thinking about, so I'm gonna go ahead and address it up front, so I feel like I'm controlling the
Yeah.
judgment. That
Yeah.
might not even be happening.
Yes,
Yeah.
100%. Well, this has been absolutely fantastic. I so appreciate you hanging out with me for an hour and sharing a little bit about your story and your journey and what you've been through and where you are now. One of the things that I appreciate about storytelling here on the Her Version platform is we spend a lot of time in the solution. We spend a lot of time in what it looks like now. Um, Given a few moments of the storyline and where you came from, but actually giving people hope and giving people the inspiration to realize that, hey, I came from something really shitty, but look at me now.
Yeah.
And it's only going to go up from here. And I'm so proud of you and so happy for your children and your husband and the impact that you're making on the world. I think that your message is so strong, and I so appreciate people like you who are open to coming on and sharing a little bit about their past in order to help, give other people some hope and some light.
Yes, thank you for having me. That's what it's all about.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, I agree 100%. Well, any closing thoughts before I close up here?
No, I think I said it already, honesty is the beginning, and it can take us pretty cool places.
Yep, 100%. Awesome. Well, thank you so much. For those of you listening live, we so appreciate you being here and supporting us. If you're watching us on the replay, make sure you hashtag replay so we know where you were and we can shoot you some love back. Thank you so much for joining us here on Her Version. This community is expanding every single day and is filled with females who are striving to do better than they did yesterday. For those of you that are new to this podcast and like content like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button and you like and you share. If you have a story to share, make sure you reach out to me here or at herversion.life. I am your host, Sabrina Victoria, and I'm so grateful to be here sharing a platform that allows people to share their truth and inspire others. Do something awesome today. Much love.